again. It's January 6th, and we've been talking about Grandpa's training. We were just talking about the early portion of his training, more of his basic training. And you were at Clemson in the spring, Clemson, South Carolina, the college, continuing your basic training. And then from Clemson, you went to Nashville, Tennessee in the late spring, early summer, sometime late May, early June, 1943. What was the purpose of Nashville?
Well, like you mentioned, it was called a classification center, and they brought the aviation cadets from around the southeast part of the country together to go through their system of separating the candidates or cadets that were into the various classifications of one would be the pilots for pilot training, and one would be navigators, and one would be bombardiers, and that was the essence of that particular period.
You might even get classified into a different role in the Army Air Corps, mechanic.
Usually the fellows that they didn't qualify for, say, pilot or the other branches, then that became their future was would be to become mechanics, or whatever part of the Air Corps that needed people or men. Yeah.
So they were doing a lot of what they were doing was testing.
Mm-hmm. And trying to place
the right
person in the right place.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned they did a little bit of physical testing here. Mm-hmm. One of the tests you mentioned was the vision or the
all
depth
aspects
perception
of your vision or eyesight. Yeah.
And certain skill sets, or they also tested intellectual abilities, and you mentioned certain skill sets set you up better for different positions, like math set you up well to be a navigator.
Right, yeah.
And even within the pilot role, you could go down a couple of different paths.
Yeah. You mean like multi-engine and single engine? Yeah. Yeah, there was a definite split in the types of training, the training aircraft, as to whether you're going to be single engine or multi-engine. Yeah.
Was it a different type person who ended up being a single engine or a fighter pilot, as opposed to multi-engine, a bomber pilot?
Yeah, your age level was definitely the younger side of that of your was the younger ones were better suited, and usually they're for single engine, and the multi-engine would be where more of the older on the older side of the age group. Yeah, they would.
What was the reason behind that?
One of it was that when you're flying a multi-engine aircraft, well, you usually have a crew of anywhere from 4 to 7 or 8 people to operate the aircraft, and in order to, there has to be somebody that can lead all the members that are needed to operate a bomber or a transport airplane and so on. Whereas the role of leading was not that distinct or for the single engine pilots. Yeah.
And so it's in Nashville that you found out that you were going to be assigned to.
Yeah. When somewhere along the line, why, before you left there, why, you did, and that's where I, the reason for going there was I was completed what I had to do.
And that's where you were assigned the role of pilot.
Yeah, I completed what was necessary to continue the program to become a pilot.
And was pilot the role that, was it a goal for most people? Was that the role that everybody wanted, or a lot of people wanted?
I think from purely a numbers situation, why it was the preferred. Yeah, from the time you entered the program, why you usually made up your mind where you wanted to fit into it.
And is that where you were thinking you wanted to fit?
Yeah, that was absolutely. Yeah, I wasn't disappointed in where I wound up in the scheme. Yeah.
So that's a major stage and a major step in your training process, receiving this classification of pilot.
Right.
So we'll pause there, and then we'll continue on with your next portion of training in the next video.